My name's Rudy Mendoza, and I am in my mid 30s, and I live in Salt Lake City, Utah.
And you're currently getting treatment at the Storefront program here at Valley Behavioral Health, correct?
Yes,
And how's that process been for you?
it's been pretty good.
How long have you been going to Storefront?
I was going to Storefront for about 3 to 6 months before I got housing.
Gotcha. So you have housing now?
Yeah,
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a big process,
yeah,
and
thank you.
it's hard to get housing.
Yes.
So prior to Storefront, what were you doing?
I was homeless, and I was homeless for 7 years, and I didn't really know what to do. Once I found out I have my condition, I told whoever I was getting help from the shelters that I have a certain condition, and they would point me to the direction. And the direction that they pointed me was Storefront.
7 years you were homeless.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was, I guess since I was young, I went through it okay. It was still bad. I moved around from place to place. I was homeless, couch surfing, living on the... Sometimes I would not sleep in the shelters because I didn't know about my condition yet. But I was afraid, and I wouldn't sleep in the shelters because I thought I would get hurt, and I didn't want to fight or get hurt from anybody.
So winters, we're talking 10 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
So winters 10 years ago were a lot harsher in Salt Lake City than they are right now.
Uh-huh.
So I imagine you had a lot of cold nights, didn't you?
I actually moved away. I wasn't in Salt Lake City. I moved away from state to state, from city to city, and I would just move around. Even in one night when I was homeless, I would move around and camp from one place to another, up to 3 or 4 times a night. I would move around.
Wow. So you wouldn't get a full night's sleep. You had to keep moving, didn't you?
Yeah.
Wow, that must have been rough.
Yeah, during the daytime I would sleep in the parks or on the baseball benches, and I would just kind of rest there for a bit.
Yeah. So now you have housing,
Yes.
and you're volunteering at Alliance House.
Yes.
What's that been like?
It's been really fun. I wouldn't, first of all, really be at Alliance House without getting housing first.
Mm-hmm.
And Storefront told me about Alliance House, and that's how I got help here.
Prior to getting your own housing, when you were at Storefront, what was your average day like there?
Well, I was very thankful that they had a day room where you could go and sit on the couch and watch TV, take a shower if you want. And I think they might have had lockers. I don't know if they had lockers or not. They do have lockers. And I would just, without that, I would still be homeless. Without that, I think right now, without that day center,
Mm-hmm.
I would still be moving around place to place right now. I would just still be homeless.
So you were able to find some stability there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would go there. That would be my go-to place. At nighttime here in Salt Lake City, I would sleep in some shelters. And during the daytime, I would go to the Storefront.
What do you do at Storefront? A lot of people who are watching this aren't even familiar with Storefront as a program.
Well, at first I thought it was like a store, but it's not. It's like a day center for people with mental illnesses to go and drop in and do like a check-in pretty much every day, so that they know that you're just still looking for apartments, for places to live at.
Nice. So now here you volunteer at Alliance House. What do you do here?
I mainly work in the culinary unit, and I do the dishes, I do cooking, I clean.
I think there's no better skill than cooking.
Yeah.
That brings us all together, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we can have a meal together, have
Yeah.
a good conversation. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. What does the future look like for you, Rudy?
Hmm.
It's a big question.
Yeah, I don't really know. I know mainly one thing. I'm personally just studying the Bible. that will help me out get through a lot of my hardships. But yeah, I don't really know much about the future.
That's okay. Sometimes the future comes one day at a time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rudy, thank you so much for talking with us today. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.